One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's what they say. And when it comes to Halo Mega Bloks, I am a treasure hunting fanatic. What you see in front of you used to be somebody else's trash. Now it's my treasure. And whilst it looks very nice all laid out on this board in formation, I can assure you it wasn't easy and it wasn't cheap. And that begs the question, why do I do it? Well, it's quite simple really. I just really enjoy it. As satisfying as it is opening up a brand new current set, new out the box and building from the instructions in numbered bags, I get a huge sense of satisfaction bringing these old sets that have been unloved, left to rot, back to their former glory so they can get a new lease of life. Everything here came to me in boxes like the one at the beginning of this video, often in pieces, always missing parts, usually covered in dust and grime and mixed in with Lego bricks, Kobe bricks, general toys, all sorts of stuff. It's amazing how much stuff you get thrown in with these boxes when people are just trying to get rid of what they consider trash. So it's unusual to get a big haul that you can just build complete vehicles out of. They're almost guaranteed to be missing parts, sometimes pivotal parts. And that's why I buy haul after haul after haul. Whenever I can get a haul for a good price, I get it so I can complete more vehicles. If it wasn't for this, they would remain missing parts probably forever due to the fact that you cannot buy parts separately from Mega. So if it's missing it, it's missing it. And that brings me on to the second reason I buy these hauls. Sometimes there's no chance you're going to complete a vehicle. If I can make it 75% plus complete, I put it in a box and I leave it there whilst it waits for the next haul to see if it's got the parts to complete that next time I get a haul. If there's no chance, I put it into my spare parts. And those spare parts is what I use to create the ultimate builds. Once again, you can't just go onto a website and buy parts. So things like the Ultimate Pelican, the AA gun, the Assault on High Ground were only possible due to me constantly buying these hauls. And the third and final reason for having this many duplicates of sets are large-scale dioramas. Think tip of the spear cutscene from Halo Reach, where you see multiple warthogs, falcons and mongoose tearing their way across the desert landscape. I cannot wait to recreate various scenes from the different games using all of these vehicles. And as soon as I've got some time on my hands, I'll get started on that, but at least the vehicles are now getting built and ready to go. So that's the treasure, but what about the latest trash that's washed up on my shore? What you see in front of you is about 18 months worth of eBay hauls that I've collected and just simply haven't had the time to open. Some of the shipping dates on these boxes were over a year old, but the time has finally come, so let's get them open and see what we've got. In this video, I'm just going to open up the three large boxes. These are three large hauls. All of the smaller boxes I'll leave for a video another time. I'm going to start with this box, which I believe was the most recent haul I received. And I have actually, as you can see, already opened the box because I've started the refurbishment. I've actually already removed an Assault on High Ground set and a Rhino tank set. But as you can see, straight away, some classic sets and some not so easy to get hold of sets. The UNSC Rocket Hog versus anti-aircraft gun is one of those sets which I think is unanimously praised as being a great set and would no doubt benefit from a modern day rebuild, and I'm sure be very popular amongst the fans. There's also a Covenant Phantom in here. Sadly, it does have some sun damage, but I do have two partially built Phantoms that are waiting for additional parts. So hopefully, if I'm really lucky, I'll be able to use the un-sun damaged parts from this one to complete two other Phantoms I have, which are about 80 to 85% complete. And it's also worth mentioning, after my speech earlier about very rarely getting eBay hauls that are complete, this one was sold saying that most of these sets should be about 99% complete. So aside from cleaning, I shouldn't have to do a huge amount of work with this haul. But what I will say is that this haul was particularly mucky. I've got some pictures here of the High Ground set, which I've already started taking apart, and you can just see how badly dusted up both the high ground setters and also the rocket hog from that rocket hog versus anti-aircraft gun. I'm talking some serious flood spores here, and what you see here is what every single set looks like as I take it out of that box. You can't see it on camera, it's too far away when I'm taking out the box, but I can assure you it is all going to have to go through the washing machine. So this was just a good all-round haul. Most of it should be complete. If it is missing a few pieces, I'm sure I'll have them in my spare parts collection. So pretty much everything you see here, once it's all been cleaned, it should be ending up in like new condition. A lot of these sets do have stickers on, so I can't just chuck those through the wash. I've got a special process that I go through if they've got stickers on by removing them, holding on to them, washing it, putting it all back together, and then reapplying the stickers. As thankfully most of these do have their transfers on. And in fact also this haul, I forgot to mention, also came with all of the boxes and a whole bag of figures. So hopefully I've got all of the figures for all of these sets, which is unusual these days. Most people have wised up to that and they always sell the figures separately, so it's rare to get hauls these days with figures in. But thankfully on this occasion it came with everything: boxes, instructions, spare parts, sets, figures, the lot. So a great haul and a great start to the video. Next up has to be one of the best hauls I've ever received, not in terms of what's in it necessarily, but the actual quality and condition of it. This was actually the cheapest haul here. I think it was possibly around £60 I paid for everything here. But strangely it was advertised as spares and it was a buy it now one. It wasn't an auction, so I was just able to buy it for that insanely low price. They were very clear that they felt that they had no instructions, no boxes. They didn't feel confident that any of these sets were complete. But from my perspective, some really good, nice classic sets in there. Straight away, you've got things like the Smuggler Interceptor. You've got the Drone Outbreak set with the green UNSC truck. You've got a Countdown set, not to mention the second generation Wraith, which tends to be everybody's favorite. There's a whole host of really nice sets here. But what was most astounding about this is, one, it came with figures as well. I'm not sure whether all the figures are there, but it came with some figures. It also came with a whole handful of unused transfer sheets. The stickers had never been applied and they're in mint condition, kept perfectly flat. Plus, the best thing of all, everything in this box is spotlessly clean, like it's just come out the factory. I could not get my head around how so much of this was partially built, partially disassembled. There's an entire bag filled with rubble, which I'm hoping is all of the spare parts I need to complete these sets. If it is, this will be the haul to beat all hauls because it's immaculately clean, so well looked after, and as I say, they just didn't want it. They just gave it away. So of all of these, I'm really looking forward to putting this one together. This will be the most enjoyment. No washing, no major sorting, just building and seeing what's there. And Countdown set, I don't have one on display yet, so it was my main drive to get this haul, to have that Countdown set to put on display. The third and final box is a real odd one. It's got all sorts of stuff in it. It's definitely got predominantly Halo stuff in it, but there's also some Call of Duty stuff in there, I think. As I take it out, you can see it's all coming out. Some bits partially built, others bags of certain colours. Lots of random stuff that's definitely not Mega or Halo. I don't know why that's ended up in there. They just like giving you freebies, which will go straight in the bin, no doubt. But there's definitely some useful stuff in here. There's a Broadsword Midnight Strike. There's a Halo 5 Wraith tank in there. There's also parts that look like they're from Assault on High Ground, but very few of them. So I don't think there's going to be a full Assault on High Ground in there. There's also a few sets in here that I don't actually have, so I'm really keen to find my way through this. I haven't had a chance to open up all these bags. There's just so many bags, and I think a lot of this will end up being in the parts collection rather than being able to complete vehicles from it. But either way, this stuff is disgustingly dirty as well. This is almost on par, possibly slightly worse than that first box in regards to dust and grime. So everything here will have to go through the washing machine. Speaking of washing machine, I'm going to deal with each one of these boxes one at a time. Once I've completed them, I'll create an update video to show you what I managed to complete from each box, and we'll see what we're left with, and then that can be added. All the stuff on the floor that I've already got built. That will take a while. It takes a long time to do this. It will probably take a couple of months to get everything done, but as I do each box, I'll bring you the results. But until then, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.